last night. So let me get onto it. So let's get onto it, guys. Let's see what it is that we do have here on the screen, and let's maybe try and analyze the markets in a way that will be very simple to every single one of you. So I've got two charts on here. So this is like these are like my charts. So this would be everything that I basically look at. This is everything that I'll be looking at and focusing on. So US30 is a selling market currently. We are currently on a selling market. And I basically called off US30 round about here, like in the afternoon. That's where I gave out my entry to the group. So this was our entry in the afternoon. So that's where I called out the entry in the signals group over there. And obviously long term, I am looking at that lower level over there to basically be able to take profits off of that level. So let's maybe break down this trade and let's see why am I selling there and why did I actually call out that sell exactly over there. So let's get onto it. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame to basically see what it is that we do have in this market, and this can really help us understand the kind of market that we obviously have. So I don't really use trend lines, as I did say. The trend lines that I drew were to basically obviously look at certain elements in the charts that I really needed to confirm and conclude with my brain and mind to make sure that this market and the trade that I'm looking at is actually valid. But for me, structure would be the main thing that I'm obviously looking at. So structure is the main thing that I look at, obviously with the key levels that we train and mentor at Regenesis. So these are the levels that we do have and we teach our students to basically use as well. So on US30, right? On US30, so US30 has been quite choppy. For the past couple of hours, we have been stuck in that level. But for me, that's stuck over there also meant something for me, because then this is not just something that I really put out there for nothing. But with me putting emphasis on the range that occurred there, this was something that obviously I was looking at to see whether or not do we break up or down, looking at how market was actually like stuck over there. So if you look at structure overall, you can see that the markets actually came to print out a level that was actually high over there, that price, and the market pulled back into this level and region, failed to break past that high, dropped down to the lows, created this low. From that low, we came back onto the same level and region. So this whole region that the market started pushing down from today is the same level that the market actually printed out a couple of days back over here. So if you really try to look at this market properly, that high that was created and printed over there was exactly the same high that then eventually caused our markets to start dropping today. So if you look at how this market actually came there, so the market came down to this area. So from the top of the highs over there, we came down to this level. From this level, went back up to those highs. Someone is busy with my trading view. I don't even know who that is. So from the top of the high of that market, we came back down to these lows, literally the same area. And once we see markets start doing this, once we see the market pushing up like that and then pushing down, coming back to that area, pushes down to whatever level, get back to that level, push down to that level again. So if this starts happening, then already we can tell exactly what kind of pattern we do have over there. If you really try to look at this pattern, you will actually understand that this high over there then becomes our newly established resistance level, newly established support level. And from this area, the market then starts pushing up to that level. And from that level, market is now here. So looking at this formation on its own from that structure I drew over there, because this point is that point, this point, this one, that one, that one, this one over there, and we are now here. So you can clearly see that this resistance area that was printed over there was the same one that pushed the market down there, which is the same one that the market is at right now. So ideally speaking, we can expect the markets to come back into this low and try to see if these previous lows are able to hold or not. And if obviously the lows are able to hold, then we do know that the markets will probably go back up and possibly shoot out of this range. So the markets are indeed in a range right now. So on US30, we are stuck up on that range. As you can see, market went up. So market went up over there, printed that high, came back down, retested on that level to create a new high. Market went down to create a new low. From that level, we went up to that point to revisit the same high. From that level, we came back down into the same lows we had printed over there, failed to break. Look at how market was pulling off liquidity around those levels, failed to break out of that level. Markets went up again to retest that same level, left a huge liquidity pull spike over there. That's basically showing us that the markets are failing to break above. And right now, we can clearly see markets are now sinking and tanking into the lows. Now, again, what am I looking at? I'm looking at the fact that there's a psychological region that was printed over there, which the markets did break. Because if this low actually held, this low was going to basically be an area and a level that we look at pushing up at. And right now, we can clearly see that the markets have broken out of this recently created low over there. And that's an area and a region that we are basically focusing on right now as the markets pushed up. Because remember that we had this low that was a higher low, market went up to that level. So that recently printed low got broken, meaning that support got broken at this point. Now, moving down to a smaller time frame will give us more details and understanding of what is already happening in this market. So that 129 level was my initial call out in the group, looking at how then the structure was looking like. I knew that the sell was coming. So the sell was not a shock to me. I knew exactly that the markets were going to sell exactly on that level, area and region. And that's an area I was obviously looking to start trading from. So I need to wait for this thing to finish up. So on a smaller time frame, by the way, whilst we wait on that one to load, this is the low that the markets printed before we started seeing that major buy that went to the upside. So the markets revisited this low again, and we pulled back again into another area that was created from a smaller time frame, and now we just broke out and retested. So the markets just printed a new low, which is obviously lower than that previous structure low. So the markets actually printed a new structure low that was really lower than the previous structure low, which means the markets are now giving us possible short options and positions on this market, giving us confidence to basically trade this downtrending market, because now the markets have confirmed and concluded to us that we have now broken out of that low and we are now pushing down. So if you look at this market over here, you are able to even see exactly what is happening over here, that the markets recently broke out of that level, retested again. So the push to the downside that just happened now was just the beginning. So for people who are trading this, they should know that the push that happened like around about 21 minutes past 9 wasn't the actual push that's gonna come. So that was the beginning of the move that's gonna come, because now remember that the markets were now closing off of that range that was happening over there. The markets were really closing off that range that occurred on that level and area, and that push to the downside then becomes an engulfing candlestick, probably on the M15, and we have now gotten that retest candlestick, that retest move that went back into that same level and area to retest that previously broken level, and now printed a new high, which is clearly lower than the previous high. So if you look at this high over there, you'll see that this high is lower than the previous high that was created over there, which means that the market is giving us even confirmations that the markets are about to sink into the lows. So I really want to look at this market. I don't know why this thing is stuck. I want to work on this chart, because then this is far more better than the other one. So let me reload, leave page. Let's wait for it. Let's wait for it. So the markets have just created a new high over here, which is clearly lower, which means that now we're about to break out of this whole this new low that was printed over there. This is a guarantee that the markets are about to break out of the newly established low that the markets printed. So we are gonna look at new and possible selling opportunities, continuations to the downside based on how this market is looking like. So we are going to get like continuations to the downside based on the formation of this new market. Okay, I think we're back. Yes, so we are back. So on the 4-hourly, if I'm not mistaken, we had a beautiful formation over there that occurred right now. Oh my goodness, why is my network so slow? Why is my network so slow? Why is my network so slow? So let me just wait for it, and then I'll basically come back again. So the markets basically showed a whole lot of bearish momentum being printed and created into the markets. So this is the level and area I was practically observing to see whether or not do we break out of this area. And because now we can see that we have broken out of this region, then we can minor zone highlight. Let me see that. Wait, let me do that. So that's the level I was looking at to see whether or not are we breaking out. And the breakout was so clear that even a blind person could see. So moving on to the hourly, what is happening on the hourly? Let's look at the markets from an hourly's perspective. So look at how the hourly candlestick came to tap that level before we actually started dropping. So we have about 42 minutes left on this hourly candlestick. I can guarantee you that this candlestick will come and close lower than these wicks, below the wicks. Reason being is that if you drop down to smaller time frames, you are able to clearly see that retest that occurred there, and this is so clean. You cannot even miss it. This is so clean. Like the retest was so clean. So the markets came back exactly to test out that previously broken structure low, and now the market is now starting to push down to the downside based off of the break of that previous low. So if this was like like a double top pattern, I would say that was our top and this was our neckline, and obviously that was our second top. So the neckline just got retested, meaning that the markets are still going to push. So the amount of movement that happened from the top of the markets to the low will be the same amount. So at least we can sort of put our targets over there. Like we can sort of put our targets over there on US30. But knowing how we trade, we will basically know that this market is headed straight to the downside. So I'm looking at that area and that level for targets. So that's an area and a level I'll be looking at for targets. So we came in here, like that was our entry, like I think this was exactly at 3:30 when the market was spiking up. That was the entry I personally called out to the group. That was 3:30, their confirmation exactly. The markets went up, spiked up a bit, and has been dropping ever since. So for me, I am looking at that level for targets, and obviously my stops will be slightly above the most recent swing high. So markets are actually going to drop right now. So hide from live, beautiful. Yes, so the markets are actually now pushing down. So the more you dig deep into the charts and actually look at the further details of this market, you will be able to see that the markets are actually now in a very bearish move. And this is US30. So on US30, I am expecting that the market will be pushing down to lower levels. And this is an area and a level I'm actually looking at 33,750 for starters. That's an area and a level I'm looking at. So let's head on to NAS. Let's head on to NAS. So let's head on to NAS. So that's not NAS. Let's see. That's 14,000. Okay, so that is NAS. So NAS 100 has has been behaving well, even though I do not trade it. My students actually did analyze this, and one of my mentees from the online course took it out exactly there. I remember they had this and that, I think. I can't remember how they, okay, I know. So he took it off of here and put it there. And that's exactly where he caught his buys. So that's exactly where he took out his buys on the dead touch of the trend line. So that was a beautiful move over there. But let's maybe scrutinize NAS and let's see what we do have over here. So on NAS 100, what I did have was this previous market high, previous structure high that was actually holding for a couple of weeks now. So the markets have been holding for a few weeks. I don't know why I'm unable to see my tools, but yeah. So previous structure high over there. Markets have been trading below that structure high. The pullback was actually a result of that previous structure high, and we did have markets come to create this this pattern over here, where we had this structure low that was created. So obviously the markets will come and create a low before they actually push up to the most recent high, so of which the markets did show us from a larger perspective and a scale that they are actually still quite bullish. So if you look at this push, so we had a push to the upside and a pause to the downside, and the markets are now pushing to the high. So the markets have to practically print out a new high in my perspective. So we still do need the markets to basically push further to the upside. And right now, if we look at this current structure that we do have on the 4-hourly, I would say that's something to also put into consideration, like taken to heart and practically learn what's going on. So we had this region that was printed over there and created as our new structure low. So the markets did come to this area, came back again, and are now pushing up. So what do we have on NAS 100 that we can practically use to try and find our trading positions and opportunities? So we have this high over there, which also came back around this level and area. So that high was an important level in the markets, because then the markets came back again into this region. And from there, we got a fake above that level, closed below, fake above, closed below, and we are now back into this area. So I would say NAS 100 is practically in a very critical area and zone right now, based off of the H4 time frame. So you can see what market has been doing. So we bounced off of this area, went up, came back down, went up, came back down again, and we're now up at this area again. So chances are NAS 100 can still come back to maybe revisit the lows or further break to the upside, and that can only be confirmed on smaller time frames. If you were taught by a different mentor, then you must ask your mentor how to identify how the markets will break out, and I'm sure you'll get proper and better understanding of it. But if you look at the H1 time frame, you are able to see that we are actually at the high, and the markets have shown signs of exhaustion around that level. So markets have shown signs of exhaustion, which means that a pullback is due in this market. So we can possibly expect a pullback to happen in this market. So I'm looking at something right now, and for the guys who use trend lines, if you look at this, you can even see that the markets have came back into that upper trend line that you do have over there, which I hardly use, but you can practically see that the markets did come back into that trend line region. And we are now set for a pullback. So the markets are not selling, but the markets are pulling back. Why are they pulling back? Because the markets have been stuck around these levels for, the markets have been pushing up, for these period of time. So from 8 in the morning on the 23rd, and today's the 26th. So the markets have been pushing up. So the markets are due for a pullback, which is what I'm looking at. So pullback regions, number one. So we have this level and area that I'm looking at for a pullback for one, so the markets can come retest that level before we actually start buying. This is clean textbook trading, and I am looking forward to that break to the upside. Pullback region number two, that previous high level. So the markets can either pull back into this region, or push down to that level. From that level, then we can see a clean break to the upside, because remember that even from a higher time frames perspective, we do have markets showing us major signs of a bullish momentum that was created. But obviously on intraday trading, you have to know your story when you are an intraday trader, because intraday trading is not always trading with the trend. Sometimes you will be going against the trend, but you really need to know what you're doing if you are going to be an intraday trader. So this is the first level I'm looking at. So the markets can either come there or there. That's simple. So the markets can pull back to there, retest off the previous high, or come revisit again that previous high level, that previous all-time high that was printed over there. From that level, we can see, maybe clearly look out for further buy opportunities to the upside. So from here, we can then look out for our further buy opportunities. And this is a beautiful trade that you can obviously use and be able to practically like take your trades off of. And man, like you have that all-time high over there, which was respected over there, and you can see that we practically failed to break past that high. Looking at how structures now formed and our candlesticks are forming, for the guys who just took the online course recently, you guys will know exactly what's going on right now, that the markets are like pulling back, are like showing signs of reversals. So those are things that we covered on the session. So for everyone that was there on the session, they will know that this market was practically an easy market to trade in both directions, going up and down. Like this was the most easiest move. Like look at how now the market is showing signs of reversals around about this level and area. And this is something I was personally looking at, and to obviously see whether or not do we break above that region. And I mean, it's quite clear how we didn't even break out of that level. So that's what we have over here, that Nasdaq is due for a pullback. So my brother Bing himself took a sell exactly at the top of that. So he literally took a sell over there. Yeah, man, my brother's crazy. So he took a sell exactly in that level, and the markets have been like kind of sinking ever since. So I am expecting that the markets will pull back into that rate level. Worst case scenario, revisit that previous high level, which is around about 13,910. From there, then we can obviously look at buying to the further upsides. That's what we have on NAS 100. So NAS 100 right now will be pulling back, and then we can look at buying overall, like long term. So these are things that we trade, and these are things that we look at. And on gold, I'll try take out a video on gold. I think like I'll try to take out a video on gold on YouTube to basically explain my stance on it. We are currently in a buy. For all our Signal subscribers, you do know that we are currently in a buy on gold. We are in a buy, and obviously it wasn't taken out by me because I don't trade gold. So Gino took out the trade, and the trade is still like pushing quite nicely. So the trade was taken like around about there. I think the entry was around there, and then went down to pull back a bit, came back into structure, went into profits, came back to a little bit of a drawdown, and has been pushing up ever since. So these are the things that you can sort of like use to be able to like trade in the markets. So more content is coming on the YouTube page, as I did say. So do go like, subscribe, and do whatever you need to do on the YouTube channel. So do look out for Regenesis World Club. Don't search my name on YouTube, just search Regenesis World Club. If you do search my name and you see this video on the channel, I'll show you in a minute. If you do search my name and you see that video on the channel, you'll know that that's the right channel. So that's the one channel that I would advise you to practically subscribe into to see more of our work and to see more of what we do on a daily. So I'll be giving out more information, more data, more trades and stuff like that on that channel. So you should go subscribe, go do what you need to do what you got to do to practically like understand my trading strategy and my trading psychology as well. And I will be touching a lot on trading psychology. I will be touching a lot on what are the things to look at chart wise, both chart wise, technicals and psychology. So I will be doing both. So I'll be doing psychology and technicals. So you really need to like go look up the channel, because I mean, if you're not there, I mean, bro, like if you're not there, man, come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, so do go subscribe into our channel. I'll be speaking more about like a lot of things, trading psychology. I'll be looking at market breakdown. I'll be looking at everything that has to be looked at in order for you to get like a beautiful trade. So do look out for the things that I will be posting. And for the guys who won the course, I need to say this. For the guys who won the course will happen next week. Next week is the week when we are starting with the course, and everyone will be replied to, the 10 individuals that texted me. There's also chances there who think my mind is like doesn't work properly. You know, people came on my DMs, and if you come to my DMs, I obviously go to your profile to see if we've had like an encounter. If I've never seen your face, you are not on the live, and the handle must also be familiar. I saw people who were on the live and won the course on this live, so you don't need to take chances. Do know that you will not come to me and claim that you won the course, knowing very well that you didn't win the course. So for the guys who won the course will be done next week from Monday till Wednesday. I will be hosting that class on Zoom. So you guys will be able to go onto Zoom, attend a meeting hosted by myself, and then you will be able to trade exactly like I trade. That wasn't a publicity stunt, by the way. That wasn't a publicity stunt. That was real trading. That was real trading. So everyone that was on that live will be attended to accordingly. So I want to see the comments. My goodness, so many comments. I'll just be scrolling through them, and if there's anything I need to answer, I'll just do that. But you are not uploading consistently on your YouTube channel. That's being worked on, buddy. How do you use moving averages? That will be covered on the YouTube channel. Double tap the screen. Okay, sure. Trend line, remember the 12K. That's a loyal follower, man. You are a loyal follower. You a loyal follower. Regalo, man. I see. Backtesting, I'll also cover that on the channel. That will be covered. Please start again. Hey, man. So the video will be saved. The video will be saved, guys, on my IGTV. So if you missed it, you will see it on the IGTV. You will see it on the IGTV. My prices are on my timeline. So if you go to my timeline, you'll find prices over there. So everything is on there. So yeah. What's the name of the channel? It's pinned on the comments. Just look at the pinned comment. Man, I'm a profitable trader now because of you and FX Code. Thank you so much, man. Quality, you know, Peter, my man, you know. Ivan. Yeah. Kamukelo, my bro, you know we're together, man. We're together. Can you please make it affordable? Some of us are still schooling and we're inspired. Please, doctor. My course cannot be made affordable. Unfortunately, my prices are just fit enough for individuals who will be trained by me. So the only way I can give back is by me giving my course for free, but I can't go lower than what I'm already charging. And I've practically like done videos and stuff that you guys can practically like go and look at, and I've given the course for free as well to the 10 individuals that want. 10 individuals, you know how much that is on the business side of things? That's practically 100,000 worth of a course that I just gave away, just like that. What's your take on FTM? It's a good thing to do. How does it take to master your course? As long as I touch your mind and your brain. Just subscribe. Thank you so much. Word of advice for the course, it will be worth it. Kamokhelo took my course and he knows. He's been trading with us for a couple of months now, and he knows. He knows. So guys, have a beautiful evening, beautiful night to everyone. I've practically been live for 37 minutes now, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Do have a profitable week. It's a Monday. Today I gave you an insight on how the markets may possibly look for the week. So as you are trading, keep it in mind, keep it at heart, and do what you know how to do best. And